Welcome to the QRcity podcast, where we explore inspiring stories of people who are making a difference in their communities with regards to sustainability. Today, my guests are solving an issue that is directly affecting our lives on a daily basis. We use paper sheets and paper based products daily in many forms. We need to keep this in check, and that is what these guys are doing. They are keeping things in check for us. In this podcast, we'll learn more about what inspired them to live a life less ordinary and keep focused on stationery based products. My guest is Naren and Ashutosh from Rescript. Welcome, Naren and Ashutosh, to the QRcity podcast.
Welcome to our office.
So, generally, I start my podcast by asking my guest where in India they are from, and can you tell us a little about where you all both are from?
So both of us were born and brought up in Bangalore itself. In fact, we went to school together from our nursery, and then we've been friends from almost 25 years, and now we're business partners as well.
Okay, and
Yeah, we're both from Bangalore, like he said. In fact, I was in Baswangudi, so where our office right now is in Baswangudi.
okay.
Naren lives next door, so it's a lot more easier for me. But I got kicked out to Jainagar,
Oh,
so I travel.
Jayanagar is fairly close by, don't complain.
Yeah, okay, because you're coming from Electronic City, so I'll give it to you.
Oh my. So, what has been your youth, and how did you college and all of that?
College, I mean, it was a lot of things, right? And that's the best time, I think, when you want to explore and experience some things.
Yeah.
So our story kind of started because of college. We were in the same college, in the same class, and like any business student in a business college, you'll start thinking about things to do. Can we do something in the sustainable space? Should we do something in the e-com space? And we start brainstorming, right? So that's how we actually didn't come up with any sort of idea then, but we were brainstorming. We wanted to explore something
So, which college were you all
in Christ.
And we graduated in 2016, and back then everyone had that urge to start something of their own. But now I feel right now everybody has that urge. Back then it was
Yeah.
just a select few who wanted to do something. I feel it was back then when it was budding to start something, when entrepreneurship was there, and people were aware of things to do.
I think Shark Tank has changed the face of the country.
In a way, yeah.
Has in a way, I'm sure it is something that's inspired from the West. But when it came to India and you saw the kind of exposure it gave to even tier 2 cities or whatever,
Yeah.
it made a huge difference.
I think not just Shark Tank, man. I think it was Flipkart and these kind of
Yeah.
those companies who incorporated like in 2006, 2007, who came up as, and they showed a great story saying like, we literally were giving books and going to house, and now we're like $1 billion company. So that kind of became something that people said, why not me?
Yeah.
Right? So that's how.
And these are people from middle class families
Yeah,
and from just
exactly.
running a common household to having a big
Exactly.
dream and running something bigger. So, okay, now you all met in school, and then I thought you all met you all had the same ideas and you all crossed paths. But this is awesome. School buddies.
Yeah.
To be honest, we actually weren't that close in school,
Yeah.
but we got really close when we were in Christ together.
That is what I wanted to ask. Were you all close in school, or were you all just hitting on each other?
We knew each other. We knew of each other. We knew each other, but
Yeah.
we were never really close as we were in college.
Mhm.
And I think that kind of felt a place where we were comfortable
Yeah.
to do something. And
I think our wavelengths kind of matched, right, in the
Yeah.
way, and most importantly, what we feel is we both bring different strengths into this
The business.
organization.
Okay, so let's talk about Rescript right now. What is behind the name?
Right before Rescript, let's go back a little, right?
2019.
2019, when we wanted to do something in this sustainability space, we started looking at something called a biodiesel, and you convert.
Before that, we wanted to start a business.
Yeah.
We didn't know if it was
What we had to.
wanted to do, how we wanted to do, but we knew something that right now people and organizations were concerned about the environment,
Yeah.
and there are not
Yeah.
many options that companies or individuals would want to, have that passion but don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So then, okay, let's explore some business where we can give options to people.
So this was just a thought, right? But we
Yeah.
didn't have any product in hand or service in hand. We both just incorporated a company. without having what
We didn't know
we
what
don't know
business
what
we
we're going to
doing.
get
We
into.
just had a
Incorporated a company.
We were in
Yeah.
partnership. We were told we were doing trading, but we didn't know what we were doing.
What we had to trade.
But what was the name of the?
So that's the company which we have now called Bunpai. Bunpai is the name of the company.
Oh, that's your
And-
Wi-Fi address.
Yeah.
The company's name is Bun.
Bun pie. So you might ask me now, what the hell is bun pie?
Yeah.
A lot of people thought we were eating bun and a pie together, and we came up with the
So
name.
many meetings like, what does Bun Pai mean? So many people just put some name and have a company. What does Bun Pai mean? And that's been a kind of a conversation starter for us as well.
And it's become something that people register also, so it's quite great. But bun pie actually literally means distribution in Japanese. So when we started this company, it was like, okay, let's start distributing something, some product, something. Let's just start, and we came up with some unique ideas. We wanted to sell an alternative to Red Bull, and we wanted to sell some kind of A2 cow milk. And so that time we came across a product which is like a plantable stationery product, like a plantable seed, plantable pencil, pen. And Naren had an idea, he had a vision of how it can go to the corporates and become a bigger thing. So we started doing that into stationery, we did for Infosys, EY, SAP as a gifting product. Then we both just sat down and we said, okay, now these guys will not buy this again because it's a novelty, it's a gift.
Yeah, it's a gift.
Right? So is there something that we can sell to them on a daily basis that's an everyday use product?
Yeah.
Right? I sell them once and they have to buy it on a monthly basis. So that's copy or paper.
So like
notebooks.
today's mentality of subscription model.
Yeah, you would say, but more of a everyday
Everyday
need,
necessity.
right? Any office needs paper.
Yeah.
Every school needs notebooks. So every year we just have to sell notebooks to schools, with 800 students.
Because it shouldn't have been like, oh, it's a year end, so
Yeah.
let's try and find out companies who are gifting and try
Yeah,
and
it's not.
poach our
We didn't
product
want to
too.
be in the gifting
Yeah,
space.
yeah.
We wanted to be as a sustainable alternative to a everyday use product, and we found stationery to be something that was quite more promising, and that's how we started dealing with these products. And again, we had to come up with a name because bun pie, copy of paper sound a little abysmal.
We wanted to keep that sustainability. When you say Rescript, it rings a bell with, okay, I'm in the space which is in the field of recycling or something where people can associate with something that's sustainable.
Yeah.
So that's when he came up with the name Rescript. This is going to be our station.
So it was inspired from reduce, reuse, recycle. I took that re from there, and I wanted a stationary element to it. So script, in a way, acts like you're writing a script, like, right?
Understood.
So, and Rescript meant like, in a way, we're rescripting what we're trying to.
No, but even when I heard your name from the very first moment, it just sat well.
Yeah.
It just sat well with what, when I saw like, okay, Rescript, went down, scrolled through Instagram, books. I'm like, okay, it just sat well.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that was, and my biggest thing, if any entrepreneurs or someone who wants to find a name is looking at this, right? I would say try to get a name that has a good domain access, right? If you do like eco books, there's some guy who's already taken it or something. So Rescript, nobody was there. When I typed Rescript on Google before I started, it came as a JavaScript, and some guy had bought a domain called rescript.com and there was nothing on it. So for SEO consideration, I thought rescript.in, if I get, is going to be beneficial for the company.
So, can you tell us a little about the process, about how y'all kind of manufacture, where does this paper come from, and the initial kind of...
Sure.
So, paper can be recycled about 6 to 7 times. And generally, paper which is recycled is not used in copy or paper, but it's used in different form, like making corrugated boxes and other kinds of things. So we wanted to see how we can use this waste paper to manufacture copy or paper, or paper that we can use on a day-to-day basis without people feeling that change in quality. So that's when we came up with our recycled paper, which is completely unbleached. It is made out of zero trees, and we use less energy as well to manufacture our product.
Oh, okay.
So that way we contribute to 4 sustainable development goals, and so that's how it's been.
So generally we take up the waste, we collect waste from institutions, a lot of shreddings that happen, right? And even in the packaging industry or the book industry, there are a lot of trimmings. there are these excess that come. So we collect these kind of waste and we put them into our processing. And to give you an insight of those actual savings, if compared to conventional paper, if that uses 80,000 liters of water, we use about 40,000 liters of water. And since we don't bleach the product, this 40,000 liters is again reused, gets back into the system. Whereas when it is bleached and there are a lot of chemicals, no, and if it is not treated properly, it gets into riverbeds or agricultural fields and kind of polluting that environment. Right? So, and because to process the pulp itself is a lot lesser because the paper is already pre-processed. Right? We use about 70% less energy. And our carbon emissions completely is reduced by about 33%.
Oh.
So that's where all this, and yeah, paper is a very straightforward process, right?
Yeah.
It's you take a pulp, you blend it, put it in water, and you tap it out dry. That's all it is.
Okay, coming back a little, like I still remember, okay, in my college, like we used to get these books, and by the end of the day, you write all your 3 exams in it, and
Yeah.
then it's back to the college, and they used to shred it out and give it off to someone.
Yeah.
So, like I still remember they just like with a shovel, all shredded paper, chucking it in the truck.
Correct.
Like, do y'all have like people who are readily available to give out paper like this?
That system has always been there, right? From Raddiwalas, and they're a little more organized now. So that system's always been there. But what like he was saying was paper can be recycled 6 to 7 times, right? But that kind of paper used to go get recycled once and that gets recycled again and it's done.
Okay.
So there's so many levels where we could have efficiently used our natural resources, which we didn't do. So that's what we were trying to bring.
And also, is there like a certain type of paper you all take in, or is it like a
You
very...
have to grade out the paper.
Okay, so you all take in like newspaper or just white paper?
So that different stages of paper that you want to manufacture depends on the strength of the paper. So a virgin material can be recycled to something of a better quality. If I take newspaper for example, it cannot be recycled to a copy of paper or anything as such, but it can be recycled to corrugated box or things like that.
In fact, with newspapers, we make our pencils.
Yeah, our pencils are made out of newspaper.
So how do you attain the strength in the pencils?
It's very like compressed, compactly like rolled, and again the machine does the work.
So now let's go to your product base. Like how many products do you all have, and which was your first product, and how did it evolve?
Our first product was the copier paper. And we actually, it's we were so reluctant in a way, for a lack of a better word, that when we bought our first batch, we didn't market it to anyone else. We sold it to one and only one company, just to see if it lasts and there are no complaints. For 6 months, we just gave it to one company and saw that it's being used well, and they had no complaints. Then that's when we started. So our baby was the copier paper. I think we both of us a lot more.
So believe it or not, the first few times we wrapped our copier paper
ourselves. So this is our copier paper. This is how we pack it, and
so wait, the price over here is 359. So what is the average price of
the MRP? Even if you see like the bigger guys who are there in the market, is in the same price range. 369, 379. We are at 359.
What are the products that you'll have? And I mean, like, tell us something about your products.
So the first product that we launched at Rescript was the copier paper. That is still our flagship product. And after that, we started launching the notebooks for schools and colleges. Then we had the journals for the corporate section. So we have the pens and pencils, which are made completely out of waste paper. So these are about 4 to 5 SKUs that we started off with, and this is something that we've continued, and we want to keep the products limited to something like this as a within Rescript, because it's more of everyday day-to-day use. We don't want to introduce very fancy, jazzy, products that into our line.
Can you also tell me the pricing? Like, how do you all price it with respects to other big manufacturers being out there? Like, What is the pricing
So
difference?
our products are actually in the same price point as what the market has to offer as well. So paper, like the other vendors have, I mean, guys have it at MRP at 359, 369, and we're in the same price point. Our notebooks are probably 5 to 10 rupees more than what you would get outside. But our aim entirely was to not just because we say sustainable, organic, and things and put it at like, 2x, 3x price points. We wanted to ensure that this is more of a subconscious change, right?
Yes.
So it was priced to be affordable, so we're not expensive.
And you all have priced it according to your business also being more sustainable and
Exactly. So
to run a business.
Yeah, we've taken all factors into consideration. It has to. We got to sustain. So does the client, because
Yeah.
if it is expensive, how much ever sustainable, eco-friendly is the shift, they think twice to make the shift. If I'm able to offer them at a good price, something that they're currently procuring it at, they wouldn't mind making the shift. It's
Yes.
easier for them to make the shift as well.
And any new products in the pipeline?
Yeah, we're trying to launch legal paper, ledger paper, made out
Oh.
of recycled material.
And how will the Indian government take it?
Actually, they're encouraging it. Actually,
Really?
even though the legal paper before was of bigger size.
Yeah,
and
it's that green color paper.
Green color one. Now they've made it A4 so that extra length kind of gets cut off, and they
Yeah.
want two-sided print now. Before it was not allowed. So they're also trying to take some steps, and in fact, we've been encouraged well by a lot of lawyers and all these attorneys that we met who said this should be introduced. But yeah,
And these things get scanned and they are shifted
There's-
online also.
that's all. Again, it's a blend of
Yeah.
both.
I mean, like, but in a court you have to use paper.
Correct.
What I know.
Correct.
Okay, so I think like, what are your plans for the future after this?
For us right now, the plan year on year, if we look at ourselves where we are, we started supplying for just one school last year, and today we supply to 5 schools, and this year we supplied in 3 different cities.
Oh.
So the goal for next year would be to get for at least for the notebooks, the goal is going to be to introduce it to at least 50 schools pan India and see how we can set up small hubs in each major city at least to keep our inventory and kind of help in the whole supply chain of our products.
So we've got inquiries. We've done deliveries from Jammu to Kanyakumari right now.
Oh.
And a lot of them have been asking us for more supplies and all that, right? So it's just trying to understand the model, the business model, and try to grow a little everywhere. Because we're bootstrapped, we're not funded, so we got to be cautious as well.
Thank you for letting us get to know what Rescript is, who Ashutosh is, who Naren is, and like the entire journey. And I mean, like, it's an incredible journey. It's just like 2 kiddos who grew up, ended up in the same college, became good friends,
That's true.
and then created a company out of the urge of creating something, and then creating something for the environment a little later on. I mean, like, you all have made an amazing product here. And now coming to the final part of the podcast is the rapid fire round, okay?
Oh, wow.
What brings you all peace?
What brings us peace?
Yeah.
Batani.
What?
Food.
And him? No, let me overtake this. I said Batani because Batani is peace.
I think you have to edit this, please. Don't. Your jokes were there. On a serious note, what brings us peace, I think, is
Money.
not really a mix of everything, I would
Yeah.
say. Money, the satisfaction of doing something on your own, having good food on your table, just able to enjoy what you're doing, and these small things make up what give you peace.
Okay.
I think a good day, well done, productivity is. I get to sleep well at night.
So, favorite sustainable brand, not Rescript, for you?
Favorite sustainable brand. Why am I thinking so hard?
I think I would say Origami because they've got the tissue papers,
Yeah.
and I've seen it, and they are of good quality and something that they are in the same line, so I'm supporting them, but they better support us. So,
So I think their brand is something that's sensible and it's on the sustainability space and it's affordable and it's something that people can shift to easily.
Uh-huh. And you?
I really have no.
Okay, fine. Then what is sustainability to you all?
I think sustainability for us is about reducing what you're currently using. How effectively you can use what you're given and not overdo it or anything like that.
And not steal from a future generation.
Yeah, you can put it that way. At least leaving
Yeah.
behind something for them to survive on.
I think
Survive.
for me,
Thrive on. Like,
Thrive
you thrive on.
I think for me, sustainability is about the resources you have, right? Like
Yeah.
efficiently using your resources with what you've been given, what you've had, not wanting to just put more strain on the planet for something you need. So, olden times, things have worked a certain way, they were sustainable, they did well. So, I think it's a blend of both new and old, and that's what sustainability is to me.
And then your thoughts on electric vehicles.
Electric vehicles, good. I mean, we were always told that pollution, these smokes are going to make the ozone layer.
And I mean, like,
right.
y'all are Bangalore's age-old residents. So do you all think like electric vehicles is a way to go, especially in a...
See, electric vehicle is something that requires a lot of lithium, and they say mining lithium
Yes.
is harmful. I'm not sure, this is all hearsay. I don't know if it is sustainable or if it's not sustainable. But I think biodiesel is something that is for the future where people can use that in order to reduce
Carbon
emissions or anything like that. And I think with electric vehicles coming, I see a lot of brands just popping up for electric vehicles, but I think you need to give safety first, utmost priority, because it is a vehicle end of the day and their life's at risk in case something goes wrong. I think that has to be in focus while doing even electric vehicles.
Can you describe Naren and Ashutosh in 3 words? You all can describe... Actually, since this is the first podcast, I have had two people. Can you describe Ashutosh in 3 words and you describe Naren in 3 words?
Ashutosh is patient, creative, and a bubbly person where he loves to interact with consumers and builds that rapport, puts the extra effort to make that person happy and give them priority.
Yeah.
Naren actually is very logical. He's shrewd. He knows what is being offered or what he has to give, and he knows how to make the best of that, right? And
I think this ends the rapid fire round. You all did amazingly well, but I'm not Karan Johar to give you all a hamper. Maybe next season.
if we invite you.
Okay. So, I mean...
But next season, I don't want Ashutosh here.
Why do it?
I don't know Alia Bhatt or...
Let me remind you guys, Naren, not you guys, let me remind you, you're engaged. I'm married.
Oh my god. So this was an amazing chat. Thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, and thank you for also kind of being a part of starting QRcity.
I'm more than happy
Yeah,
to
well honored.
contribute to whatever you're doing. I'm sure you have a long way to go. In any way we can support, we'll definitely do so. And it was really nice meeting you after talking to you for over a year and postponing. I'm sorry because it was from my end.
So I mean, like, it was a very great podcast, and this ends season 1 on a very, very, very high note for me.
Like I said, you saved the best for the last.
I mean, do follow Rescript on all their social media platforms. So if you can just like shout out your social medias.
Just search for Rescript Stationery on anything.
On
Instagram.
Hit the like button and follow button. Sorry. And we'd be more than happy if you hit the buy now button.
Mic drop. Ended here.
And also follow QRcity.
Yes, follow QR.
Chalo, that ends season 1. Thank you.